What's up, guys? So, a few moments ago, I was just surfing the internet looking for debate topics, something that maybe I have not considered. And during my little research, I stumbled upon something that I considered interesting that I realized is something that has been brought up before to my attention, but I never really expanded on it and I have never talked about it in the channel. And that is the double standard, or whatever you want to call it, between guys and women when it comes to what they wear in public. Specifically, the fact that it seems to be that it is perfectly acceptable for a guy to be topless, whereas for a woman, it is a big deal if she goes topless. My personal opinion on that, I'm going to keep it very simple and summed up. My opinion in that is I consider the top region of my body to be very, very closely associated with intimacy. It's a very private thing. So, therefore, I have absolutely no desire to be displaying that because I know that it is something that can just, it can evoke things like it's an erotic part in my body. So I do not need to be showing that to the public. Just to put it simple and to not really beat around the bush, it is something that to me it's completely personal and private, and I also personally feel like it's uncomfortable to just be without a top in that area. And for me personally, the only time I can go braless, for example, is if I'm at home about to go to bed. But even then, if I just came back from being out, which is pretty much every day of the week, like at nighttime on weekdays, I tend to wear bras because as soon as I wake up, I pretty much put on the clothes that I'm going to wear to go to work and I keep going. So, but if I skip a bra, it is actually pretty uncomfortable and I hate the sensation of the taras just moving around. Like just moving around, it's just weird, all right? So, to me, I have never considered, I have never been bothered to be in public topless. And it's something that would absolutely make me uncomfortable, and I would never do it. But when I think about it critically, I have to wonder if I had not been raised to associate me as a female or females in general, it being unacceptable for them to be in public topless, I wonder if my opinion would be different. It's honestly hard for me to tell if me being brought up, being told that that is wrong, is what makes me hold that opinion to this day. Or if I would have been, I don't know, born in a fucking nude beach and raised in a nude beach, would I think that is a big deal? Probably not. But again, because of my personality and the way that I am, I like to respect my body and respect my privacy. And one of the basic ways to do it is to cover my body up. So because I know and understand that that part of my body can, say, trigger thoughts in someone, it's like I don't want to give anyone the motive to look at me with that kind of desire. See what I mean? So that is what makes me feel like, for me personally, I would be bothered if toplessness was something acceptable. And if you bring up the matter of breastfeeding, that is different because, of course, it's the life of an infant that's dependent on getting the nutrients directly from their mother's tara, right? But at the same time, I feel like you, as a parent, unless it is an absolute emergency to where your child is just about to die because for some reason it has not eaten in a while and you have to, pop a titty out in public and feed them. Okay, sure, do your thing. But I would consider that breastfeeding is a pretty intimate act on its own, so you should consider going somewhere secluded to take care of your child. Just like I would not bust my child's diaper open in the middle of like a heavily transit area, like say a sidewalk or something, and pretty much display my child's privates to the public. I just have a lot of respect for intimacy and privacy in general. So even though you're a kid and you're probably not going to remember that I did that to you, it doesn't make it right in my eyes. So if I had my intimacy and privacy protected when I was a kid, why would I not do that for my child? So I just like consistency. So I would make sure that my child is taken care of in that department. And for that same reason, I individually would not go around displaying myself. But, anyways, you guys, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much to add in that department. Just know that it doesn't bother me. I don't think that it should be upsetting that even it can even be considered as disgusting or gross whenever women, the idea of women being out and about topless, it can be deemed as disgusting. I mean, that it depends on the individual. I personally do not like boobs like that because I mean I have them and I'm straight. So to me, I will see them as disgusting on somebody else. So there's nothing wrong with that, nothing bad about it. It's not like I'm trying to destroy a girl's self-esteem. It's just that I ain't into that shit. So if I'm not into that shit, why do I have to like praise it and worship it and adore it and pretend that I find it aesthetically appealing when I fucking don't? So that would bother me. Like it would disturb me to see that. When I'm at the gym, I be seeing bare asses all the time in the locker room. That kind of disturbs me, but it's not necessarily that the person is being disrespectful to me. It's just that that's not I would personally do. I was brought up to respect my intimacy. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Like it's my privacy, it's my intimacy. So I cannot go into public surrounded by strangers and expose my body. I just respect it a lot. That's the way that I show self respect. One of the many ways that I show self respect. Just because you are comfortable with that, you cannot expect for me to be comfortable with it in the same manner that you are. No amount of aging or, say, going to college and being a member of a sports team or something, whatever it is that makes people comfortable with exposing themselves in public, no amount of that is going to make me change my mind. Because trust me, there's a lot of stuff that I have not changed my mind on, and I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna happen now. So that's why I'm pretty confident about what I'm saying. But anyways, enough rambling. Let's see what you awesome guys are saying in the comments. Let them be empowered. We already got them in yoga pants, booty shorts, etc. They want what they can't have. Personally, when it comes to yoga pants, aka leggings, I am personally super addicted to leggings. I am so addicted to leggings that I intend on making a leggings video in which I show you my entire collection of leggings, even though nobody's asking for it and nobody cares. It's just something that I am a proud collector of and a proud wearer of. And the only time I find leggings as inappropriate is when it is obvious that you are showing your ass through them. But the way that I personally wear leggings, usually, unless I am up, usually the stuff that I wear with leggings is long enough to where it covers my tail anyway. So the only thing that leggings are doing for me is helping me recover from a workout. which is compression leggings. If I did not have compression leggings in my life, I do not know how I would be standing and operating as a human early in the morning like I do. So it's just a good item to have. And ever since I work out wearing leggings, I definitely feel the difference with my physical performance. And honestly, they're really comfortable. And I am not very fond of jeans for many reasons. Maybe I'll discuss it at another time, but I personally like leggings. I like how they look, I like how they feel, and that they're just comfortable and they help me recover from my everyday stuff. So, leggings only bother me when someone is clearly being grotesque about it. Like, if you're not careful about it turning into a wedgie, like underwear can do, then you have a problem. And it's just that when it comes to attire, when it comes to what you wear, there is a line between vulgarity and something that is well put together. I have issues with people who wear stuff in a vulgar way. And for me, something that constitutes vulgarity is that we can see your privates. Like, you're not concealing that well. And the reason it upsets me is because, like I said a moment ago, my intimacy, my privacy is a very big deal for me. So I cannot ever feel comfortable exposing myself and seeing that on someone else because I feel compelled to hold them up to my same standards, but I have to understand that that person is separate from me, so I cannot expect for them to perceive stuff in the same way that I do. In fact, I don't encourage people to see stuff the way that I do because I know there's some stuff about me that's petty, and that's fine. That's why we are all different and you're free to do whatever. But yeah, for me, that's my opinion when it comes to that. Since you pushed my leggings button, I had to put that out there. But anyways, hello Karuta, you're early again. Yes, indeed. I am a dude, so I free my nips a lot. If I see a girl free the nips, I will try to buy her a drink. Something that bothers me now that we're discussing nipples is that sometimes if you're wearing tops that are fitted and you don't have a bra with a cup, that stuff protrudes and it looks like there's two fucking eyes on your chest going like ping. That irritates me so much, and sometimes I'm a victim of it, especially during the winter or during the summer when the gym can sometimes blast that air conditioner like they want for the North Pole to be inside of that building. But every time I notice that my nipples are protruding and it's noticeable, I fucking hate it. But at the same time, I like the clever individual that I consider myself to be, I like to plan ahead. And if I know what my setting and weather is going to be like, I can anticipate that nipplegate is a possibility. So I am going to wear loose fitting clothes if I'm going to wear a bra that doesn't have a cup. That's me taking responsibility. But it has happened before to where we cannot always predict what the climate is going to be like, and I don't always have bras with a cup available. So I will have my nipple gate at the gym sometimes on occasion. And, I'm like, you know what? Just what can I do? I cannot control mentally how cold I am to where the nippolitis triggers. But at least if I can help it and avoid it, I prepare myself to avoid that from happening. But it's not always possible because your body just bodies, you know? So I gotta let it do its thing. But for me, when I do catch that on myself, I am fucking disgusted. I'm like, I do not really have a low self esteem like that, but I just do not like how that looks. It seems vulgar to me. But then when I think about it, I'm like, I'm fucking working out. I'm doing this for my health. What matters is I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And yes, I will have wardrobe malfunctions here and there, but it's nothing regrettable. It's not like you can actually see my skin. You're just seeing two things protruding that you already knew were there. But it's not like details about my skin are being revealed. So, what's the problem? But when I do notice that on someone else, when they're clearly not wearing a bra at all, it kind of upsets me. But then I just slow down a bit when it comes to that one because I'm like, well, sometimes I wear bras that don't have a cup and I can see my nipples. It may not be as dramatic as this person who's clearly not wearing a bra, but it happens to me too. So I want to minimize the amount of hypocrisy when it comes to that point of view. But I cannot help it. I just don't like titties like that. Sorry. But if you're a woman and you're coming to me to emotionally and uplift you and uplift you when it comes to your self-esteem, you're coming towards the wrong person, because I am not going to give you a compliment if I do not feel like it, if it's not genuine. Like, there's people who they can be wearing the fanciest outfit ever. If it doesn't impress me, you ain't getting a compliment. Like, sometimes there's people who go to work and they are like, how do you feel about my haircut? And I hate that because, okay, I noticed that you got a haircut, but what if I neither like it nor like it? Why are you coming to me for validation? Just be confident in what you did. But when someone asks me, forces an opinion, or yeah, an opinion out of me expecting a compliment, it's like I don't function like that. Sorry. Like, when I cut my hair or let it grow, I'm not looking for a compliment. I'm just being me. But if you happen to give it to me, I'll appreciate it. But it's not like I'm changing my appearance because I need validation or I need compliments. No. You know? So that has landed me on hot water a few times because people are like, wow, you just cannot say anything nice to someone. And I'm like, it's just not the way I am. Like, for me to give you a compliment, you have to be outstanding. And as I have mentioned before, there's very little stuff in this planet that impresses me. But just because very little impresses me doesn't mean that I cannot appreciate people putting effort. But again, just do that for yourself. Don't do it to model for someone else. It's just weird for me. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Um, I don't expect everyone to be on board with me on that one, but I just think it's a little bit crazy when people have expectations of you. Like, no, chill out, do your thing. I was playing volleyball once on the, I guess you mean beach, with my teams and females on teams. I jumped. Oh, with my V's with mixed teams. Okay. I jumped up and spiked the ball. This chick tried to relay the ball back and missed. The good part is when I did that, her left titty popped out her bikini top. I was like a tit in my mind. I felt bad, so I pointed at her. Beautiful left tit. She was like, huh? And put back her delicious tit back. I'm biased to say no. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You guys are entitled to your opinion. I understand that as you guys being carriers of the seed that you feel compelled to allow to disperse and spread and deposit it in as many bearers of life as possible. I would be worried if you were telling me that as a guy, you would be against that. Because I'm like, oh, I expect that men just like to be in the mood more often, and therefore you're going to find yourself attracted to places where you know that people are going to be showing titties. Like, it's perfectly fine. I cannot say that I share your mindset. Like, I'm not I'm not all wild about going to a place where guys are probably going to be bottomless or something. Like, as much as I'm sure that I would enjoy the sight again, it's something that I reserve for my private, intimate, personal life, and it's what makes me comfortable. So if I saw a place, or if all of a sudden tomorrow I could go out and guys could be bottomless, I would be a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not going to deny it. It's like, sure, I'm confident in my sexuality, but it's like, it's not what I am used to, and it's not what I'm comfortable to. And just because you're going around bottomless, you cannot expect for me to all of a sudden be topless. Because to like compliment you, no, no. You know, I just like to protect myself from the elements, and that means all kinds of elements. Nothing that you enjoy the sight of tits and nipples and all that. To me, that's fine. I mean, you're men. I expect for you to like that stuff. But for me personally, if you are anticipating for me to be on board with that type of thing, especially with the ever increasing female empowerment that we got going on, it's like, no, don't count on me. You know, you don't need me for that, thank God. But I hope that you can at least understand where I'm coming from and why I'm the way that I am and why I cannot just be on board with that mess. But if that's what you're into, sure. But for all females out there, if you were to engage in this activity, expect to be harassed. All right? Because it's like I've seen a couple of YouTube videos of women talking about their experience being a female YouTuber, and they all mention how they're overly sexualized and whatnot. But look at their thumbnails. They're usually showing cleavage. But look at their summer vlogs. They're usually in bikinis in their pools, especially the rich YouTubers. And, you know, what are you doing to protect your image from people making comments that are suggestive like that and that supposedly put girls down and, you know, men are the problem? No, men are being men. So if you do not want to trigger that kind of behavior, minimize it by putting effort on your part and not exposing yourself. But of course, you're not going to do that because people are going to stop watching you. A lot of guys tune in to female YouTube channels because they just like what they see beyond what you say. I personally created this channel more about the stuff that I say because that's what I'm confident about. And I know that I am considered attractive, but just because I have those features in me doesn't mean I'm going to exploit it just so that I can live comfortably financially. No, I got different values. Sorry. Not sorry. But actually, I'm a little sorry for you because then you're making a video trying to say that there is a problem with society when the problem is you. The problem is how you're presenting yourself. Do not present yourself with your bare body or, you know, like barely being into pornographical territory, and you'll see that maybe people will respect you better. If you're really all about your content and not about selling your body, then focus on your content and not your body, and you won't have any problems. Like, at least in my experience, 2 years and a half doing this thing, about to be 3 years actually, I've never had any issues with that, and I'm sure that I won't. And even if I did have those issues, it's the very, very extremely rare occasional troll. And even then, they have no substance because it's not like I gave them the material to say such a thing. Maybe they're posting that to see if I will fall victim to what they're saying and then expose myself with maybe wearing revealing clothing or something so that I can be like, you know what, you're trying to troll me by saying mean things to lower my self esteem, but I'm confident in my body image, so here you go. I'm going to show it. No, that's exactly what those motherfuckers want. But I'm better than that, you know? But anyways, you guys, I know I'm rambling too much, but I wanna cover this from as many angles as possible so that you see how this all connects. I still remember her nip, but not her face. Of course you do, man. It's the important bit. I appreciate you, beautiful. Hello, Ninja. Wait, are you my same Ninja guy who hangs out here pretty often? It's just that I see a different icon and I tend to forget names. Anyways, was working as a lifeguard once, saw a girl about to jump in with a loose top, tried to stop her, but she started running out the last few steps and didn't hear me, both came out. Yeah, especially if you go down a slide, that, yeah, slide will definitely violate your intimacy because when I was a kid, I used to go to water parks a lot, and those freaking slides, man, my wedgie nearly went up to my brain. It was painful. And on top of that, when it comes to my top, it felt like it wanted to wrap around my neck. But fortunately, I always wore one piece bathing suits underneath anything that I wore on the top. Like I always wore shirts. And right now, I am looking for an affordable wetsuit because I have always dreamed of owning one. I love how they look, they're just cute. And I'm like, man, there's no diving shops around here, but I just dream of a one piece wetsuit. It just looks so cute for me. Um, but but yeah, for me, you'll always see me all covered up. When I go to the pool that's at my apartment complex or at the gym, I always wear like swimming shorts and a UV long sleeve top or just a top of some sort and pants of some sort. I'm just not comfortable wearing two piece on its own and then a one piece bathing suit on its own. It's not who I am. It's me showing too much skin. I'm just not comfortable with it. And I never will be. Like as a kid, I did it a few times because I was just a kid and I was just having fun. But then I got a little older. Maybe by the time I was 9 years old, I never went to the beach or a pool without wearing like an extra layer of clothing on top. It's just the way I am. It's just the way I am. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm kind of going to breeze through the comments now, and then I'll have to go because your girl has to be up in the morning. But it's been good. I'll try if there's something else that we should explore a little deeper. Let's see. I stopped at the lifeguard one. Okay. Luckily, she has a friend tell her before I had to. I cannot figure it out, but I see a lot of both slips and diamond cutting nip in shirts. Well, I'm attracted to you. Oh, thanks a lot. My ninjas, what's up, chat? You know you know you would like to see my walnut slip out of my banana hammock. I love the way you phrased that. You're hilarious. I'm not attracted to those women thirsting for attention. I'm much more mature than that. To me, that's not wife material. Exactly. You see, now that you mentioned that, that is one of my primary concerns. I want to create a pretty good precedent and record for myself. It's not going to be perfect because at some point I'll do my stuff that would be deemed as inappropriate. Like maybe what can I say? I like to fool around a lot. I like to joke around a lot, and I guess occasionally I can have my flirty comment toward a guy, but as long as I know that my intention is not serious, then I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure that every single boyfriend I have had at some point has flirted with another chick. But what I do is I remain confident. This guy still gives me my place. We still do stuff together, so why am I going to be upset about that? It's just human nature. You want to have fun and joke around with other people. As long as you don't cross an absolute point of no return line, then I don't have a problem with that. I'm not lacking confidence. And besides, I personally like to engage in that occasional fooling around. Like sometimes here, when I'm in the comments, I may say something relatively flirty, but you guys know that I'm not serious. It's just me taking something that's going on at that moment in time and turning it into a joke. We are fucking adults. That's what adults do. But for me, one of the most important things has been to just respect myself as much as I can. And that way, any potential mate that I have in the future, they're going to see that I am actually pretty serious, that I like to respect myself, and that if I respect myself when I am alone, then by them beginning to date me, they know that they can count on me being appropriate. And I wouldn't like to be known as the girl who shows too much of her body, you know? And I wouldn't like for my guy to be exhibiting himself. Like, there's a lot of men at the gym, especially, who they will grab a dumbbell that they're actually not ready for and they'll swing it. It can be like 100 pounds, 90 pounds, 65 or 70. They're clearly not ready for it, but they'll start swinging it and they always stand really close to the females. When it's a group of men only lifting, there's not a lot of showing off, but sometimes guys just want to do that. They just want to show off, even if you don't pay any attention to them. But sometimes girls do pay attention to that. Maybe that tactic has worked for them before, and that's why they're conducting it at that moment. But for me personally, I like to focus on just me and then my guy if he's around, and even when he's not around, I still try. But I wouldn't like to be known as someone who does not have self respect. Because if I don't have self respect, how can I expect for other people to respect me? See what I mean? It has to start from you. So that's just the way I look at it, and to me, it's a really big deal. Really big deal. Um, where am I at? Okay, I found it now. And Twitch thoughts wonder why they get sexual comments while running nude Snapchats on the side. I'm the same one, just changed my picture and name. People started biting my YouTube name. Okay, awesome. I thought it was because your writing style is pretty consistent. Like I can tell who's who nowadays from the way they write, but yeah, okay, good to see you're the same person. Please do not get rid of the ninja part of your name because I'll probably forget who you are. Sorry. It's just that you guys, I cannot associate a voice and a face to you, so it's kind of difficult as time progresses to keep track of who's who. But anyways, whereas my face is always the same, I sound pretty much the same except when I have flu demons or whatever it was that hit me. Let's call it the flu. I'm not even sure. Zamri, I wish I was this line. Funny. Oh man. I tried to forget the 300-pound wet t-shirt lady. You are awesome. Please never change. You are one of the few cool ladies who are normal. Keep being awesome. I appreciate that. We respect you, beautiful. I have a secret to tell. All right, Garuda, the floor is open. It's all yours because after you post whatever it is you gotta post, I am leaving. My name is Oh, your name is Michael. Yes. So I don't know if you were my previous Michael who used to hang out in my comment section, but every time there is a Michael, every Michael in life always gets called Mike, Mike, Mike. So yeah, like my best friend's father's name is Michael. So when he told me that his father's name was Michael, I was like, Mike, Mike, and then I sent him the seagulls from Finding Nemo. And I just cannot say the name Michael any other way but Mike, Mike. So, say if you and I were going in a date, I would tell Mom, do not expect me tonight because I'm going out with Mike. Who does Zam go out with? She goes out with Mike. I love the idea of that. I just wish that I had a friend who I'm close to in real life whose name is Mike. I know no Michaels right now in my life. And usually if I do meet a Michael, their Michael is their middle name or Mike is their middle name. But I really, really need a Mike in my life because I want to call them Mike. So you're going to be Mike. But yeah, good to meet you, Michael. I like the name Michael. I've always felt that I would name a child Michael, but probably not. The secret is that females who go to the gym are hot no matter the shape. I can see that. It is attractive to see someone right in the process of taking care of their body. Like, I'll never forget how much of a noodly body shape I had before I started lifting and doing cardio and doing all of the amazing things that my body can do now that I never considered it would ever do. So, yeah, like I love seeing people working out because it shows me this person is serious, this person is putting an effort into being in shape, being healthy, and I am an advocate for that. I'm not perfect. Not being afraid of increasing the intensity of my workouts, I just fear injury so much. And I also fear being horribly sore to go into work the next day. So I am definitely not challenging myself physically as much as I possibly could. But, I just want to be responsible. Like, I don't want to end up injured. There's a girl who works at one of the gyms that I go to. There's different branches of the same gym. And she had her knee dislocated. And she has been wearing a space boot for like 2 months now. It's like one of those medical things. What is it called? I call it a space boot. So now I don't even remember what the name of that little cast is. But anyways, it's like this plastic looking cast that a lot of people wear. I also knew a friend who had acute tendonitis and he had to wear that. So yeah, we call it the space boot. But yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Okay, that's cool. Isn't Michelle a girl's name? Michelle. Do you guys think that the name Jennifer is a weird name? My boyfriend thinks that Jennifer is a weird name. To be Michelle, to me, Michelle, I saw so many Michelle characters that were bad characters. So any woman named Michelle or Rebecca, I'm automatically suspicious of her. Do you guys know any names that maybe a girl has or a dude has that would classify them as either hoes or pimps? Let me know. Because for me, I find that Rebecca's, for some reason, at least in movies, they tend to be up to no good. And when it comes to male names, who's up to no good? Can't think of a name right now. Hmm. Anyways, you guys throw a lifesaver at me on that one if you have any inputs. I would love and be honored to go on a date with you though, Zamri. I'm never opposed to that, like meeting people. But if you have high expectations of going on a date with me, please dial back on that because I am not all that. It's like I feel like I'm funnier in person, but but I'm just I tend to be an incredibly shy cookie. I will retreat into my little shell. But these days, I have become so much better at socializing to where I can see how different I am. I'm not so reserved. Like, I can actually start conversations now. It used to be that I could not do it at all, but just really have the lowest expectations of me. But I do enjoy talking about very basic things like hobbies and whatnot and just take it from there because I find that the most beautiful thing about meeting someone new is when you discover that you have something in common and then you start sharing why you love what you like that now you have in common with the person. Oh, you like Dragon Ball Z? Oh yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z because Vegeta was my man and no 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 Goku was my man and this and that. It's like We love the same thing, but we see it a little differently. But if we can agree on the matter, like, oh yeah, Vegeta's my man, oh yeah, Vegeta's my boy, this is why Prince of All Saiyans, haha, he. It's like I like that hype. I like to see people getting bubbly and excited about things that they like, and the fact that you have that in common, it makes it really special. So anytime I meet someone new, I'm always extra happy because I feel like I'm filling in a void in my life. It's like, sure, I'm meeting someone new, and this person will introduce me to a different point of view in life that I would not have achieved in my own or on my own. Like, I love learning. That is my favorite thing to do in life is just learning via reading, talking to people, or me just trying to improve a technique that I already, something that I already do, whether it be mundane or whatever. I try to find ways to improve it. So that to me is the most fun, awesome, beautiful part of meeting someone. I guess it's like relationships in the beginning. You're all bubbly and excited and you feel the flutters and whatnot. And for me, it's always so sad when that chemistry just goes away. Let it be with friends, let it be with your partners. It's like, what the fuck happens? Like, why do you stop being the person you were? I know that life gets difficult here and there, but for me, even if I am overwhelmed with bullshit going on in my life, I don't change that drastically. You still know that I'm still me, Zam. Like, I feel like I have remained pretty consistent in the channel to reflect that. So when it comes to my tone, I'm not that different what I sound in here versus how I sound like offline. It's pretty consistent. But because I am running this show and I do not get to listen to you guys or hear you guys, my way of interacting is different versus reading comments. But one of these days, I haven't forgotten, I'll actually have another person running the show with me, and then you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to that. But, anyways, you just have to trust me. Oh crap, it's midnight already. Alright, I'm going to catch up with the rest of your comments and then your girl has to go. Not in French, it isn't. Okay, my bad. Now you're good, my ninja. Hi, Zambri. Hey, Jordan. I work out. Love. Awesome. Something that I would like to try just once in my life, but I am so afraid of just never walking again, is deadlifting. I've never deadlifted before. I have never attempted to deadlift before, but I'm just interested in it because I feel like it is a different focus. It looks like a completely different technique, and you really need to know what you're doing before you break yourself in half. But yeah, that's something I would like to try. And really, I would like to try it to see how much I can lift. Like, uh, just how much I can lift, period. Like, how heavy can I go? Jesus in Spanish, it is pronounced Jose? Isn't it Jesus? Or Jesus? Well, I feel like it has an accent somewhere. It has to be the U, right? I feel like I saw that in one of my Spanish classes. Let's see. What's the grammar rule for that? I think it is if it doesn't end in N or S or a vowel, it does not get an accent. I don't know. I always like to remember the words that we have in English, like Sion. So it has like the O with the little line on it, the little accent mark. So I'm sure that Jesus has to have that mark in the U as well. Pretty sure I've seen it. But if I had my Spanish notes, it's like, sure, if I know the grammar rule, as my teacher used to call it, it makes better sense. And then I would be able to tell. How are you doing? I'm well. I guess I can report that I am 98% recovered. I still have a little bit of going on, and I still have to drink like gazillions of gallons of water, but definitely better. Definitely better. Sean Froggy Dog says, Zam, when is your birthday? My birthday is August 2nd. Mark it in your calendars. Technical Vegeta Pim slap Goku. Even Piccolo oft Goku. Well, my personality type is on my YouTube name, INTJ. I can be shy most of the time as well. I love learning as well, too, sweetheart. That's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about my career in welding. I absolutely love what I do. That's awesome. I know absolutely nothing about welding, but I would be interested in knowing. For me, in some anything that's technical, I don't get it. My brain just cannot function. One time I was taking some kind of what was the name of that class? Good God. It had the name networking in it. And it turns out that I thought that a networking class would be about how to make online connections and how to practice etiquette when communicating via the internet. But it turned out to be a class in which I had to put together wires and routers and computers and plug this and plug that, and this wire does this and this cable does that. And I say wire like that because that's how my teacher sounded like. Huh. And then I'm like, I did not sign up for a class in which I'm taking apart wires. I know that I'm going to fail this. So yeah, I had to quit that class because I was gonna fail. And that's where I learned some stuff about Cisco. Well, I cannot say I learned stuff about Cisco when I don't remember anything about it. So I said, please, I told my counselor, please, this is a mistake. Take me out of this class. So instead, I get put in boring ass marketing, but at least because I took marketing, I understand a lot of the stuff that goes on at the store I work at. And I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder this was taught to me during marketing. So it wasn't a complete waste. It was just, it's one of those classes that you are not very aware of the concept unless someone shifts your focus to it. And once you're into it, it's so common sense. It's so obvious. It's not difficult to understand. I personally like to spend time on things that are actually challenging. Like, you know, just come up with a way to solve environmental challenges. Like, how do we solve the problem of, I don't know, floods anytime it rains? Crazy stuff like that. That technical thinking I like to dwell on, but when it comes to common sense stuff, like stuff that's factual and you learning the definition of a word means that you understand what it is, it frustrates me. It's too easy for me. But if you throw numbers in there and technical stuff, I will be intimidated. I will suck at it. I'm terrible. I am literally handicapped at learning technical things, but I enjoy it because it's challenging. So it encourages me to just be a better version of myself and give up when there's no hope, right? But at least I don't run away from challenges. That's pretty much all I'm trying to say. Um, got you, samurai. That is so cool. You are the backbone of society, like me. Call me my Sam or my Sammy. I work for Cisco all the time. I can definitely teach you about welding. Awesome. I guess I should take that as a hint that we need to do a welding stream just so that Ninja can show off his expertise and knowledge and wisdom, and so that Zam has an introduction, building blocks, and then eventually, maybe I'll weld something. No, 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 no. It ain't gonna happen. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me. It's been a pleasure, but your girl has